you think she could have gone on to become an Olympic gymnast?
Do I think that Kimberly could have gone on to become an Olympic gymnast? Sure.
What about you specifically?
Could I have gone on to become an... I would have. Right?
All right, so
It was super intense. So we did the show, like we did the pilot. At first it was called Dino Rangers. Did you guys know that? Yeah, I'm sure you guys... Actually, I'm sure you guys know more about Power Rangers than I know. I was 21 years old and I was there to just like, it was my first acting gig and I was hanging out and I was having fun. It was like my college. I partied really hard.
did any of those fighting skills transfer into your life? Like if someone comes near you, can you just karate chop them right away?
That's a really weird question.
So I also wanted to ask you, there's a reboot coming out. How do you feel about there being a new generation of Rangers?
I'm excited to see the movie. I think it'll be a new generation. How many generations has there been? Like 20 generations, right? Like, what are we at now? 20? 15? I have no idea. I've totally lost track. But you know what? They're putting so much money into this movie, and I think it's going to be cool. I'm excited to see it. Are you guys excited to see it? Why not? But the thing is that what I realized in the last, I think, couple years, really for me, is as I've been transitioning out of acting, I've gone on to start writing and directing and creating my own projects for myself. And in doing so, I've done 3 different Indiegogo campaigns, which maybe some of you were a part of or not, but I raised money, I crowdfunded to do these projects. And the support that I got from so many people who have supported me from the time I was a Power Ranger, through the time I was in Felicity, all the way through my career up until now, which is 23 years. It's incredible. And so I've really begun to truly embrace all of these children that are now adults sitting in front of me, right? So I can always tell how old somebody is when they're like, oh, so I'm a really big fan of Power Rangers. Well, first of all, I'm a really big fan, or I really like your career or whatever, and I'll be like, how old are you? Because I can tell by how old somebody is to what they actually watched or liked to the show. Flashpoint was a show I did in Canada, which didn't bring me to Canada. I had already actually moved to Montreal on my own. But then I auditioned for Flashpoint and I got it, and that brought me to Toronto, which is my home now, which I adore and love. And that was really fun. It was 5 seasons. I played a cop, for those of you who don't know, and I had a blast doing that show. I loved it.
Do you think you know how to handle hostage situations now?
Absolutely not. His purse, and he's like, stop! And he just like kicked into high gear, and he chased her down him down the street, and he totally got the purse back. I was like, he's a real cop. He's inside.
So can we talk a little bit about your most recent project? You did a movie.
I did. So going back to I've gone on to start writing and directing, which is my true passion right now. And I just finished my first feature film, which is called, which I'm excited about. It's called The Space Between. It's a heartfelt comedy. And so we're just starting to do festivals throughout the fall. So the first festival in the States is going to be in Carmel, California, and we're the opening film. So we're the opening night film. It's going to be so much fun. They're flying out all the actors, and they're putting it's going to be a big party. If you happen to be in Carmel, California, on October 19th, or 20th, anyway, come. And then we're going to be at the Savannah International Film Festival, which is going to be fun. And anyway, we're doing film festivals all throughout the fall. And then next year, I think we're going to try and do a Comic-Con tour of some sort with the film. So wouldn't it be fun to like go out after this and like watch the film? I would really love that. Transition for me. I don't know, I love it. Once I did my first short film as a director, I was like, I'm sold, this is exactly what I want to be doing. But I think as a woman and getting older, there's a lot of reasons why I love it, but that's one reason of why I'm just like, auditioning is such a painful process. It really is, to have to worry about what you look like and worry, but with writing and directing, I'm just like, bam, I get to use every aspect of my brain and my personality, and I love it. And I love to write music, but it kind of comes in waves for me, and it's always been a hobby. So I started playing music when I was 23, and I just did an album 2 years ago that's called Never Broken, which I'm quite proud of, but it kind of comes in waves for me. So I'll do music, and then, you know what, I do music when I have nothing else creative going on. It's like my fallback, like I have to express myself some way, so I'll go to art, writing songs. Yeah, and a lot of times my songs are super sad, which kind of, so when I'm sad, I write songs.
So after Kimberly left Power Rangers, and after just Dave Frank retired, do you think he would rather be with you or Catherine?
Well, that's a good question. I think that's a very valid question. And I have no idea, but he's here, so we could ask him. No. But it's pretend, it's pretend. It's not real, right? You knew that, right? I'm not really Kimberly. Auditioning for the show, the other Rangers, some of them, Austin, and then JDF, they were all martial artists. So we spent a lot of time like creating our own routines of what we were gonna do for the stunt, the fights. And so we would incorporate the gymnastics, and then they would come up with ideas, and we had other people training us into it. We used to train a lot, actually. We would have a lot of practices. That, and I could do like a backflip. I like that. That was fun.
I had a question. What did you think about the more aggressive Power Rangers fan-made film?
What is it? Oh, I thought, I really liked it. I did. And I met, the other day I met the director's girlfriend. She's on the 100 show. And I was talking to her about it. But, I thought it was really,
Ladies and gentlemen, are you single and tired of looking for love?
I am. Are you? Oh my God, I'm going! We'll just let him finish.
Yeah, just let
Who's
him finish.
single? Who's single? Looking for love. 5:30. 5:30.
But you guys can't leave yet. You gotta stay here with us.
Okay. What was I answering? Oh, I thought it was pretty cool. And I thought that it sort of raised the bar of what the movie that they're doing now is going to have to be. And I think they actually did ask him to direct it, and he turned it down, is what I heard. So I thought it was good.
Going to Flashpoint, what was your favorite episode? Why? Because that's an amazing show.
I don't know if I can pick one in particular show, but working with Enrico Colantoni, the guy, I don't know if you guys have seen Flashpoint, but he played the Sarge, and he is fantastic, and he taught me so much during those 5 years. He really helped me get grounded and find my confidence, and working on that show really changed my life.
I was wondering if you're going down this career of writing and directing your own material, do you just wish to continue going down that path, have a more independent career, or is there anything major studio sort of thing you'd like to adapt or interpret like down the road that you have your eye on?
Well, at this point, going back to like living in Toronto, I think Canada is just an incredibly nurturing country, and Toronto is an incredibly nurturing city to transition into filmmaking. There's lots of grants and stuff. So at this point in my career, I'm like focused on writing my own material and directing it. I just did a boot camp for directing episodic TV work because I would actually like to make a living as a director, and I think that getting into television and directing, because there's so much amazing television right now, right? So if I could sort of figure my way into directing episodic television, I think that would be a good career move for myself. But my heart truly is right now into writing my own stories and creating them. I have an amazing team and a producer that I did start watching Stranger Things. That was great, right? Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then I was watching Stranger Things with my daughter. What's the cutoff? She's 7. We watched one episode and it was like, oh, I was so scared. I'm hiding behind her. Totally. And then she was fine because she's a little daredevil. But I was like, I don't think this is appropriate, Franks. And so I tried watching the next one all by myself. That's not gonna happen. I was like, I can't watch the show by myself.
No, it's very scary.
It's so scary. But is it child abuse if I watch it with her? Like, I don't know, is that wrong?
Did she get nightmares?
No!
Well then no, I'm gonna say no.
Okay. And she has a good barometer too, because I tried to show her Jaws. Have you guys seen Jaws? So 5 minutes in, she looks at me and she's like, I don't think this is very appropriate, Mom. And I was like, oh, okay.
This is going to be kind of a weird one, but I'm in a wheelchair and I've never walked before, so humor me. You've been a gymnast before, and on Power Rangers there were, scenes and stunts where they were throwing you up in the air and all this stuff. What does it feel like to fly? What does it feel like to be up in the air like that?
Oh, wow. Well, let's see. 2 things happened in my head when you asked that question.
Okay.
One was the fun part of doing flips. The second was the really scary part of working on a non-union television show.
Oh no!
And being hung up over like fire or something.
No!
Yeah, that wasn't so fun. Right?
Did you have to ride on a roll?
Did I what?
Did you have to ride on a roll or something?
I should have. I caught on fire once, me and David Yost. Well, we didn't, like the machine we were in, like with the time machine, what were we doing? We were switching places or something? Yeah, that thing, like, that smoke started coming out of it. Anyway, we weren't flying at that point, but, yeah, I can't do a flip anymore, but when I could, it's really fun.
I want to know what your favorite color is.
Well, I'm gonna have to say pink. Look, I'm wearing pink. I've embraced pink, guys. I didn't wear it for many years.
Yeah, because that color's kind of tied to you. You're the Pink
Yeah,
Ranger.
in my
so
20s, like after I left the show, I was like, oh my god, if I ever have to see pink again. But it's actually a good color on me, so I've embraced it.
come back around. So,
David Yost, he's one of my best friends. We just went to Cape Cod this summer. We rented a little cottage. We do Stage It shows once in a while. Do you know what that is? It's called stageit.com. And we'll go on there and we'll do like a live show. And we'll just sit there and you guys could watch. And there's like a chat room and you can chat. And we're just really silly. Like I made him wear his Blue Ranger costume this summer when we did the show. It was really funny. But we just get really silly. Do you guys follow me on Twitter or on Facebook? So on Facebook, I think I'm A to the double J.
good name.
Yeah, it's hard to find me.
What's the Twitter? So we can all follow you.
At Twitter, it's _ Amy Jo Johnson. Yeah, Amy Jo Johnson. Somebody had already taken Amy Jo Johnson, so I had to put the little underscore.
Have something in one of your upcoming projects.
Are you an actor? Are you an actor? Yeah. I'll see. Actually, yeah. You look great. Totally. I'm looking at you. I gotta. Very diverse.
Most of the footage from Power Rangers is from the Japanese Super Sentai series.
Yes.
I was wondering what you thought about that, because like on the set of Power Rangers, it's like, oh, we already got the Japanese cast to do all the fun scenes.
Yes, I was happy about that. Because I didn't have to put on that helmet, right? Like 3 holes, it's really hard to breathe in there. So I was very grateful for all that footage.
And then this gentleman back here, I believe, has a question. And Brandon, can you come up here? She has another question as well. You know, I was going to ask you, I don't think a lot of people know this because archers are really popular right now. So, you know, you got Katniss, the Green Arrow, Hawkeye. You were one of the original awesome archers as the Pink Ranger. Yeah. I think everyone was biting on your style specifically.
Totally.
So you never had to learn how to shoot a bow, anything
No, I
like
don't
that?
think I ever did.
Okay.
I think that was the... Are you guys all from here? Oh, you're from Canada? Born in Toronto? But you live here now? California? Virginia?
And then I believe this lady had a question here.
You were talking about being silly with David Yost and all the stages, shows and whatnot. And so it brought this to my mind. When Jason talks about memories of Power Rangers, he's usually like...
Jason who? Which one? I always say Austin is Jason.
He's like, you know, I pranked this guy, I pranked that guy. I was wondering if any of y'all ever actually pranked Jason did prank, and if you haven't,
pranked!
If some payback is in order. You know.
I think, you know what, David Yost and him are real good buddies. I think David pranks him once in a while. I believe. I haven't. I should. I'm not a great prankster. He used to, like, when we were doing the movies, I remember one time we were in Australia and he had this thing where he would, like, sneeze on people. But he wouldn't. He would go like this. I'll do it to you. Hang on a second.
Now I'm worried.
So you walk by and go.
No, I just reacted for the sake of
I have
you
to try harder. Hang on a second.
Oh, so it has to be on me, okay.
How did he do it? Oh, we're gonna have to ask him. We're gonna have to ask him. I don't know if he put it in his mouth first. Maybe that's...
Okay, guys, you guys might want to back up. This is the splash zone now. Please just back up.
Well, that would be gross. That would be that's not I think you could go like this.
We didn't think there'd be a water portion. Yeah, I think it happened.
I'm terrible at pranks. We're gonna have to work on that one. I have this one memory, but I don't know if it's appropriate to share, but...
Earmuffs.
No, it's fine. Anyway, I remember sitting in my Zord. Oh, I don't know if I should share this with you guys. And I was wearing, like, the costume without the helmet, right? We used to be in there without the helmet.
Yeah, just hanging out.
Phew. And I was 21, okay? So once in a while I would like smoke pot. And with the grips and the electricians, and they were like, and that's so I'm sitting in my Zord and I'm like looking out and I see 2 of them like standing there looking at me and I was like I was just suddenly had this total reality check of me like in spandex, like with a camera in front of me, and I'm like, what is happening?
What is my life?
Was that a great memory? It was a fun one. I remember it. Like when I think back on that time, I think of that. Oh my God, I have some funny stories. I can't share them. I have some really funny stories.
You guys broke her.
Yeah, no, I can't share that one. But did Jason or anybody ever tell you about the time we went to Hawaii and they didn't announce, they didn't hire security guards, but they announced on the radio that we were landing. Did you ever hear this story? So
Please share.
We land in Hawaii. This is like when the show just got really, really popular. And so we got off the plane, and it was me, JDF, my boyfriend at the time, who was a grip on the show, and a couple other people, maybe David Yost, but I remember Jason was right in front of me, and we're walking, And they had announced in Hawaii that we were landing, and over 10,000 people showed up to the airport. It was insane. And there was no security. And when you land in Hawaii, they lay you, right? They put flowers around your neck. We were almost laid to death, guys. They put flowers and flowers and flowers and flowers and flowers and flowers. And all of a sudden, I'm like, I can't breathe. Jason turns around, all I see are two eyes, like, out of his head. We're like, whoever we were with came and got us, and like, got us through the crowd, and we got in this limo, and then I remember like, the top of the limo opening, and Jason standing up and going, like a rock star with all these flowers. It was scary.
Well, they call you the cameo for the new movie.
If
Will you
they
say
call,
yes?
I think they're done shooting. They already shot that film. But apparently they're going to be doing like 8 of them. Maybe I'll be directing one.
Can we start that on Twitter? Can we
Yeah!
let Amy direct?
Yeah.
All right, that's the new hashtag, guys. Let Amy direct. Hashtag let Amy direct. We're going to do it. Colorado's got your back. All right, does anyone else have a question? Please, hands up. This lady back here.
What was your favorite episode of Power Rangers?
You know what, I liked it when I actually got to try and practice acting, which was really fun. So, because it was my first show, and none of us had ever really acted before. So I enjoyed the shows when I got to turn into a punk, or I got to like switch places with David and we switched personalities. Or I remember one episode, I was crying about something on the floor because some flower parade and some guitardo or something was trying to get me. And I remember trying to cry, but at the time I didn't know how to cry. It's true. And I remember sitting on the floor and I asked Twee, remember Twee? Twee was in there. I asked her to come and stand in the corner and stare at me because I thought if I could just like look in someone's eyes, maybe I'd cry. So I was like sitting on the floor just staring at Twee, like literally trying to poop out a tear. Like it was not happening. So that wasn't my favorite episode. Excited for them. I think it's amazing, and I'm so proud of Karen and Johnny and everybody, like just doing the damn thing. Because that's what I say. Like I've done 3 short films. Now I'm doing my first. I've just finished my first feature. On to my second feature, and I'm just so proud of Karen for like she's the spearhead, right? And she's the one who's making it happen. And that's the thing, guys. Whatever you want to do something, you just have to like. Just do the damn thing, right? Just do it. Who's stopping us, right?
Plane and you guys all go skydiving. Did you actually jump off the plane and do the skydiving?
I don't remember. I don't think we did. I've gone skydiving once in my life, and I would remember that. No, I think we had a big green screen. We were in Australia, and I remember we did do something fun where they put us like on pulleys, and when we are landing, we got to do our landing. I remember that. And then they had us on green screen, and we had to like pretend we were flying through the air. And they had a big wind machine. It was like it was like $35 million or something they used to make that movie. Like, it was crazy. And then they realized after doing that nobody needed a $35 million movie of Power Rangers. So that's why they did Turbo, and I think that was $70,000 to make that movie. So interesting, right? So let's see what happens to the $170 million movie. But I don't know. Let's see. But I think all you kids are now grown up, right? Like maybe you're ready for like 100. Like tastes have changed. That was 20 years ago. So curious to see what this movie's gonna be. Great actors though in it, right? Like who's Rita again? Elizabeth.
Thanks.
Amazing, right? Like, geez. I've never thought about this before. The Bionic Woman? I don't know. Is she a superhero? I don't even know. Sorry, guys. I don't watch a lot of superhero stuff. Is that terrible? I know! I'm so lame. I watch Little Miss Sunshine and things like that.
That's a great movie.
I think the time that I had on Felicity was as I look back on my career as an actress, I think that to me was the time that I was most, looking back, proud. I think working with J.J. Abrams, he created that show, and they would have these amazing directors come in for each episode that they would shoot, and the actors have gone on to do amazing things. Look at Kids in My Head, which is my second feature. So we're gonna shoot that in March, which is a full-length movie again. And then I have my baby that I wrote. It's called Crazier Than You. And I'm gonna do that maybe in 4 or 5 years, because that's a bigger budget. And that's based off of my mother's life, who, I grew up in a religious cult for 12 years, and then my mom passed away of cancer. It is a comedy, guys, but it's a dark one. But yeah, that's like my passion project. Yeah, and I want to play her too. And when she died when she was 52. So I want to play her. That's why I need to wait a couple years, right?
No, I was gonna.
Not was kind of a Hollywood starlet. Actually, she is. This is not me. She was in Hollywood, and then her mom died, and then she quit acting. And she left, and she moved her life to Montreal because she was panicking because she hadn't had a child yet. But it has nothing to do with me, you guys. It's total fiction.
We all believe you.
Thank you. Yeah.
That voice you did?
That's when I was hanging over that fire below me, and oh my lord.
Yeah.
Me and Austin were like tied up, and it was so scary.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And that voice you did, like, pretty funny, but like, pretty cool. But like, is there any inspiration for that, like Patty and Selma from The Simpsons, maybe, or something?
What does that mean?
Patty and Selma, Marge's sisters from The Simpsons. You had the raspy voice, yeah.
Did I have a raspy voice?
You did you did the raspy voice and you did that laugh.
Oh no, I think that was my trying to be bad. What was I doing? Was I like, hey, was I think that's, didn't I do that in the, I did that in the episode where I like turned punk with David Yost, right? And he copied my voice. I was pissed. I was like, can you get your own voice, dude? Anyway, don't tell him I said that.
He's not here, so we won't.
Thanks.
When you hear the alpha voice, does that like, is it like nails on a chalkboard?
No, I haven't heard it in a while.
Okay,
it's
good.
like, yeah.
And then I believe we had some other questions.
I think the more interesting and fun is to play bad. Because bad, like, nobody ever wants to be evil. I guess unless in superhero world, or I'm thinking of like, in real life, like bad people I don't think intentionally are bad. They're go through life and things happen that turns them bad, right? So I think that's more interesting. So that could be more fun as an actor, I think, to dive into what makes that person bad. Maybe I'm thinking too much right now.
Not Bryan Cranston. That's not your name?
Right now I have my eye on this girl, but she's not right for my movie. But do you guys ever watch Togetherness?
That show was amazing.
Right? It was on HBO. Really, really good. Oh, did you ever watch 2.5 Men? So you know the crazy neighbor who lives downstairs? Melanie Yeah, so her real name's Melanie. She is a fantastic actress. This girl, I just want to work with her. I want to direct her in something. I think she's so raw and real and good. She's on my brain right now, because I had her in mind for My Heart Is in My Head, but I don't know if it's right. Other than that, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I'm nervous about that part, actually.
So would you like have to reach out to these actors, or you're just?
Oh yeah. So in the space between, I cast mostly people that I had known, friends, which made it less intimidating for me. But I did hire Michael Ironside. I don't know if you guys know who he is, but he was in like Top Gun and a bunch of stuff. Yeah. So he was one of the only actors that I'd never met before. And he gave me a little bit of a run for my money. Whatever. How do you say that? Anyway, he tested me, which I need to be. That's the thing with really good actors. When they walk on a set and it's their first time they're working with a director, they don't trust you yet. So they're going to push your little buttons and try to see if you're going to break. And so I know. It's very scary. And he was great. We ended up being really good friends, and he was wonderful and amazing, but I needed to prove myself to him. And so that, and I knew, and in Rico, I did a short film called Lines. You can watch it online. Rico plays an awful, awful doctor. It's about a movie, it's about embracing our imperfections. It's about a woman who goes to the dermatologist's office to get a mole removed, and the awful doctor tries to fill her with Botox and lip filler. So, anyway, that again is not a true movie. You can't, how do you do a silent part, right? So I had to tell you guys way too much. But anyway, so Rico, back to the point, Rico tested me, because he's such a brilliant actor, and I used to watch him do it on Flashpoint. People would come in, new directors, and he would and he was testing me while I was directing him as I'm sitting in the chair with my legs spread open, because I was acting in it too. And I was like, Rico, because he was testing me. It's hard to explain, but he was intimidating me, and I'm like, I have a lump in my throat. He's like, come on. And I'm like, I do, you gotta take it easy on me. Because I know that's gonna be hard as a director. Why am I telling you all this?
We're all
Great role for him too. It's gotta be somebody out of their mind. Right?
Yes, I agree.
Totally. He'd be fun to write something for you.
He's here. We can make it happen.
I know, he's my friend. He just texted me.
Aww. I think we have a question over here.
Hi, Amy. I'm a huge fan. I'm a little bit nervous right now, but... Okay. When you made that dare with David,
Oh, yeah.
what did you do after you walked around in Hollywood Boulevard?
I was pissed at him.
The small key.
Yeah, I was like, David, when you put on that, first of all, when they're raising money for this, the order, I said, because I dared him to put on his costume, because he did the same thing to me when I said, when you put that costume on, with technology today, get Periscope, right? Or Facebook Live or something, so we can all watch it. So he does a little bit of the Periscope, and then with the costume, and then he disappears for 2 hours, and I'm waiting, and I'm like, what? 2 hours later, I'm like, David. He's like, it was great, it went really well, and I'm like, but you didn't, Periscope it. He's like, oh shit, we're in the moment, I forgot. And I'm like, well, drive back there and do it again. And he's like, I'm not doing that. He didn't do it.
Are we gonna have to, when we go to his table to get signings, are we gonna have to tell him?
David's not here.
Oh, David's not here, you're right.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. No, I was really proud of him for doing that.
Oh, the microphone's off. Brandon, you have a question back there?
For 2 days straight. I was in Italy. I just got back from Italy yesterday. Had the most fantastic time, guys. But I feel like I've been on a plane for so long.
You gotta get your stretch on. You know, if you need to stand up and just get a full stretch, I don't think anyone here is gonna mind.
Sorry, what were you asking?
You know what, sir? If you just want to come up to the front here and just ask the question, come on up. All right, here's a mic for you.
So you won't let your daughter watch Stranger Things. Will you let her watch Power Rangers?
I did let my daughter watch Stranger Things, but I don't know if I should continue because I think I was so scared. I was so scared watching that. Yes, no, she's seen Power Rangers. Yeah. Frankly, guys, she wasn't that into it. I'm not sure why. I know! I watched 3 or 4 episodes with her, and she was like, at first when she was little, she was like, oh, Mom! Now she's into some show with some girl's voice where she talks like this. I think it's a character, she's that Ariana Grande or whatever.
Oh, the Sam and Cat. The Sam and Cat show, I think.
Carly, or I don't know, she loves it. She's not, so. Oh well. What are we gonna do?
All right, so that'll be the last question back there.
I was just wondering, with
writing, I'm writing a book right now, but I know that writing a book and writing a movie are two totally different things. I want to know what's hardest at finding inspiration for writing movies?
I did write a novel once, which I'm turning into My Heart Is in My Head. So, for me, like, just finish it, right? Like, get to the end, because then you have something, because writing is rewriting, right? So just like, even if it's crap, just keep pushing through until you reach the end, because then you can always go back to then you have to go back to the beginning and you start combing again. But that first draft is the most painful, right? Like, you just have to like a cathartic, just like, get through it, and then you can hone it, I think. And then through that, you find different avenues and ideas and things start to happen. Does that help?
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the last question. That is the end of this.
Oh,
Thank you. Can we get a round of applause for Joe Johnson, please?
Thank you. Thanks for coming out, guys. Will I see you later?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming to Colorado. Thank you.